Welcome, welcome, welcome to another spiritual awakening. Yours truly, A.G. Green Sr. Let me know if you can see it and hear me well. Let me know if you can see and hear me well. It's time to vibe with our tribe. Let me know if you can see and hear me well. And let me make a few adjustments in here. So glad to see you on tonight. And waiting on some feedback to see if you can or cannot see me. Tinkering with something here. You can see and hear me well. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you for your feedback. Good to see you, our resident therapist, Pastor Jerry Cotton. Hillary is on tonight. Krista is on tonight. Thank you all for taking out time in your schedules to come through. I feel a sense privilege of being in your presence. We are all connected by spirit and consciousness. And it is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful thing to connect with you. Have you spoken to each other as you came in tonight? I know some of you did. Make sure you speak to your fellow tribe members as you come into this place and this space. We're preparing to pray. And again, thank you so much. Good to see all of you on tonight. Almighty, we're so thankful for all things. Thank you for life, health, and strength. Thank you for the energy, the activities of our limbs. And thank you for the spirit that gives us life and empowers the biological life. And we just bless you as we open ourselves up to your guidance, to your leading, even to partner with you, to co-create and co-manifest our reality. We thank you for the onset of miracles, signs, and wonders. We bless you as we remember the name, the power, the way, and consciousness of Yeshua, Mashiach. It is so, and so it is. Again, so glad to see everybody on now. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. For making a few adjustments here. Let me know if everything is clear for you. You know I'm in a different environment. Just want you to make sure that everything is clear for you. Let's see here. This is what I'm looking for here. There we go. Stop. Appreciate you so much. Have some wonderful, wonderful information that I want to share with you on tonight. Don't forget to text, like, and share, as well as letting people know that we're on the air. You can follow me on the various social media handles you see on the screen. Even right now, you can subscribe. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, Twitter, and YouTube. I always like to remind you, now to him that's able to do exceeding abundantly above all that we ask or think, according to the power that worketh in us. There is a rich, vibrant power that works on the inside of us. Therefore, we're not powerless, but we are powerful. I want you to type it in the comment section. I am powerful. I am powerful. I am powerful. Type that in the comment section. I am powerful. What a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful thing it is to be powerful and to know that you possess Dynamic power. I cannot get that red out of my glasses. I'm gonna have to move around a little bit. I'm trying to see. I think it's reflecting probably from a light on the headset. That's it. Type in the comment section. I am powerful. Thank you. Type it in the comment section. I am powerful. I'm not sure where that red is coming from. Where is that red coming from? I don't see anything on the screen that's red unless it's reflecting off of. No, I can't see that. This is. Oh, it's probably the. Okay, I think I know what it is. This is strange. Let's see something here. Okay, yes. My glasses are reflecting off of the computer screen. See if I can adjust this just a little bit. Because that's annoying me as well. I am powerful. I'll do my best to try and move at certain angles so you can't see the red in my eye. Thank you so much for sharing your feedback. Thank you so much for sharing feedback on today. I'm trying to see what I can do. I could turn this light on behind me, but it's going to make it so bright. And I don't want too bright. I don't want to do that. Do I look like an old man tilting my glasses like that? Talk back to me. Do I look strange tilting my glasses like that? I just tilted my glasses up to try and see if I can prevent the glare from showing up on the screen. Do I look old? Oh my goodness. Thank y'all so much. Thank you so much. Let me get on with it. What's good? What's good, family? Tell me how your week has been going thus far. How has your week been going thus far? Talk back to me. How's your week been going thus far? Talk to me. I pulled them up on my face a little bit. Do I look strange like that? Yeah, I look strange from the side. Oh my goodness. Y'all know I like to get things right. I like to get things right. It's bothering me that I can see this red. It's really bothering me. I'm gonna work my glasses like that for the rest of the broadcast. Thank you so much for your feedback. Thank you so much for your feedback. Talk to me, family. What's good? Tell me how your week has been going thus far. This is where I get to check in on you. We actually get to check in on each other. Talk to me. How's your week been going thus far? How's your week been going thus far? Talk to me, and then I'm going to get into the teaching on tonight. How's your week been going thus far? I'm just going to wear my glasses like this to keep that glare out of my eyes, that red out of my eyes. Okay, talk to me. I don't think there's anybody streaming from within Patreon tonight. Look like most of us, many of us are on YouTube. Let's see, how's your week been going thus far? Talk to me. Hillary says, week's been good. Anybody else? How's your week been going thus far? How's your week been going thus far? Talk to me. Let me know how your week has been going thus far. Mine is, I would say, a good week. I'm going to say it's a good week. Talk to me real quickly. How's your week been going thus far? Talk to me. How's your week been going thus far? I want to hear from you. Let's see, our resident therapist says it's been challenging balancing other emotions, but I am powerful. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Anybody else want to share? Remember, this is your perspective. There's no judgment here. However you feel your week is going, maybe it's your reality. So you get to make a judgment call. You get to make a judgment call. So how's your week been going thus far? Let's see. But Chris is saying week is moving fast. No complaints. Ready for Christmas break. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I appreciate you all being transparent and sharing. And let me know, do I still look clear or do I look a little fuzzy to you right now? And then I'm going to get into the teaching. Do I look a little fuzzy right now, or am I still coming through clear? Because if I'm looking a little fuzzy, I know what to do about that. All right, Trina says her week has been going good. Wonderful. Good to see you, Trina. Anybody else? Anybody else? And let me know if I'm still coming through clear. I raised my glasses a little so you couldn't see the red reflecting on the screen. Maybe it's the way I got my glasses positioned that I'm not seeing as clear as I want to see. Oh, this is interesting. This is a little fuzzy. Okay, good. Let me try something here. I know what I got to do. It's a camera situation. I don't know why it does this. I brought it back to 720p. I could go back to 1080. Okay. I'm gonna just leave it right there for now. Thank you all so much for your feedback. Thank you so much for your feedback. I really appreciate you. Really appreciate you. Thank you for sharing. Just going to talk a little bit before I get into a subject on tonight. So glad to see everybody who has logged in, those who've shared as well. I'm so thankful and grateful to be able to speak to you, my wonderful tribe, as often as possible. Um, I don't know. Right now, I'm having some sense of, I say I don't know, but just being transparent in the moment because this is a very transparent community. Some sense of, I don't know, I guess it's anxiety. Being in this space and place in my life right now, I feel very displaced. Some of you all know the home, my mother's home we were living in is hit by fire. And as a result of that, we are temporarily displaced 8, 9, 10 months, can't go back. But it was a part of my plan to manifest a return to the Atlanta, Georgia area anyway. So by the grace of the Almighty, uh, that is in the works for me. And I'm still every day, every minute manifesting my way. And so I must admit that there are times, yes, I lost some things, had some things damaged, in the fire there, so forth and so on. Maybe I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put some pictures up in Patreon, maybe tomorrow in our Patreon community, so you can see some of what the house looks like inside and outside. Um, I think the last estimate is going to be over $200,000 easily for them to fix and replace, what was lost. And so I kind of battle from time to time. Uh, I'm kind of spiritually, I would say I'm a type of person, I'm a type of being who's always striving for more in terms of closeness with the creator, source, and sustainer, which means I'm on a path to ascend. So discomfort there, uh, I've kind of lived with that discomfort for years, that it's kind of like a hunger, it's a thirst for more. But what I'm feeling mentally and physiologically in the moment is a little bit strange because at some point in time, uh, you want to know that you're home, and you want to know that your spirit and your body are in alignment and that you are at rest. And so my challenge daily is to put in the work, to do the work inwardly, to continue to uh, within create the realm, the reality, the world, the universe, and the cosmos I desire to live outwardly. I must do it first inwardly. So I just want to kind of share that with you in sense of transparency and the spirit of transparency. Keep me and your mother in my thoughts, in your thoughts and prayers. And I do know and believe that all things are working together for the good. And so, yeah, it's really strange. It's like right here in the chest area. It's really, really strange. But at the same time, I tell you all the time, I have to practice what I teach and what I preach. I live every word that I propagate to you. And this is how I know these things work because I'm living them daily, living them daily. But I can tell you one thing, what I have created inwardly is slowly changing the extrinsic external landscape of my life. And I am encouraged by that. So we're still dealing with do the work, and I'm still in the part of the series that's dealing with the inner architecture of transformation that our resident therapist put up what installment this is. I think this is part two. I'll wait for him to type it in the comment section. Then I'm going to put it up on the screen. We are in part two. Part two. All right. I requote Rumi, or bring up Rumi's quote again. Your task is not to seek love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. End quote. Now, I dealt a little bit with the myth of external change. The myth of external change. If you're going to become the person that you want to be, then you're going to have to do the work. You're going to have to do the work. I want you to type it in the comment section. I must do the work. Type that in the comment section for me. I must do the work. Type that in the comment section. I must do the work. Thank you, sir. Part two, do the work, the inner architecture of creation. Thank you so much. We're guided and led by the divine. It is so and so it is. Type in the comment section. I must do the work. So do the work is not a slogan. It is a metaphysical law, a psychological necessity, a sociological reality, and a spiritual initiation. Every mystical tradition, every branch of psychology, even framework of human potential, and every scientific model of personal change converges on this one truth. The great mystic Neville Goddard said in 1952, you cannot rise to any level that you have not consented to in your own consciousness. You cannot rise to any level that you have not consented to in your own consciousness. The levels you and I desire and aspire, whether it's a level in career, a level as a partner or a lover or a spouse, a level financially, a level spiritually. I want you to understand that you can only attain that level by first traveling there in consciousness. And yes, the Creator, the Divine, God, the Lord of all, can and will assist us, but we must first launch ourselves into this consciousness. Carl Jung, the great psychologist, says, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. End quote. A lot of people think that fate is a result of the Almighty creating a set or subset of circumstances, creating pathways, rather byways, whether highways or a multiplicity of diverging paths that eventually lead us to a series of events or a singular seminal event. That's not really how destiny operates. I used to think that until I started recognizing my role in co-creating reality. The destination that we end up at typically, not typically, is always going to be based on our level of consciousness. Modern neuroscience states the same truth in scientific language. Dr. Lisa Feldman Barrett said in 2017, the brain is an anticipation machine. It predicts the world you will experience based on who you believe yourself to be. So I share this with you from a metaphysical and spiritual perspective. Your inner state becomes your outer story. Your inner state becomes your outer story. I want you to type it in the comment section. My inner state becomes my outer story. My inner state becomes my outer story. My inner state, INNER, becomes my outer story. Just needed to take a couple of deep breaths. I'll give myself one more. My inner state creates my outer story. If you would only ruminate on that, you will begin to see exactly that truth being declared or that truth manifesting in your life. So, tribe, you cannot manifest a life different from the identity you hold. The emotions you habitually rehearse or the assumptions you unconsciously nurture. Hear me, loved ones. Change your inner architecture, and you will inevitably change your outer reality. I'm going to type that in and put it up on the screen for you. One reason I like to be transparent on my journey is because I want you to know, despite uh, how powerful my presence may be, my words may be, including the journey that I co-manifest and co-create with the Creator. A lot of times, teachers, leaders uh, appear to be flawless, impeccable, uh, operating in a state of perfection, but it's not true. We have to work on our inner architecture as well. So I'm in the process, as you are, of becoming, which means I must change my inner architecture. I must look at my inner architecture every single day because I understand the spiritual principles and the spiritual laws, which is what we're about to get into in a few minutes. So a lot of folk out here talking about, oh, I'm going to do better, I'm going to change. They wrote out a list of things that they want to accomplish, but family, I'm not here to be the bearer of bad news. But until you become the identity of the one who has all these things or is accomplishing all these things on your checklist, then your aspirations, wishes, and desires will be null and void. The inner architecture of yourself must first be changed. And I know you wanted to change at the snap of a finger, but I want you to understand, yes, things can and will change instantly, but you must first change the inner you. You must first change the inner narration. You must first change the inner story. And the way that's going to happen, the way that's going to occur, is if you do the work. I want you to type in the comment section the law of correspondence. The law of correspondence. This is number one, the first spiritual law that's a part of this teaching and do the work. And remember, I'm going to share with you several spiritual principles sometime following in the following calendar year. But I sensed a leading, and I had a leading to just talk with you in the remaining weeks of this year and probably entering into the new calendar year about doing the work. So there's a spiritual law of correspondence, and it states, as within, so without. As within, so without. As within, so without. I'm gonna put it up on the screen for you. As within, so without. So the law of correspondence is as within, so without. Yes, this is a hermetic principle, but it is a spiritual principle. Matter of fact, you can find this in the Kabbalion, which again is believed to have been extracted from the text where the original hermetic principles are stated. Now, as above, so below, as within, so without. This is the officially stated principle in the Kabbalion. And let me put that up for you. As above, so below. As within, so without. So, using uh, a metaphorical perspective, a metaphorical eye, the higher dimensions, the higher self, the spiritual plane, and what happens in the spiritual plane is seen in the lower plane. What happens in us as spirits, okay, in terms of our thinking, our core beliefs, our dominant thoughts, as it exists in the higher state of our being, it's going to also manifest in the three-dimensional physical world. That Kabbalion or that Hermetic principle goes on to be stated as within, so without. Simply stating, it asserts that the outer world mirrors the inner. The outer world mirrors the inner. The events, patterns, relationships, and opportunities you encounter are not random. They are reflections of your internal state of consciousness. Reflections of your internal state of consciousness. This is not superstition. It is an ancient observation backed by contemporary science. So, family, if you live with assumptions of lack, the world organizes itself to confirm your expectation. If you carry assumptions of worthiness, your environment becomes fertile ground for abundance. The universe is not biased, it is responsive. It matches the frequency of your dominant inner state. Yeshua said, according to your faith, be it unto you in Matthew 9:29. Let me just unpack that for the next few minutes. Again, I have taught you over the last several months that the principle of faith and the spiritual law of faith has been presented throughout generations. And let me adjust this again. I want to make sure it's not getting blurred. Has been presented uh, generationally in a way that people think that faith is utilized to just bring the answer to prayer of good things. But what they didn't understand is that every spiritual being, and that relates to us, who lives in a physical body, we are not of this world. We are not from this world. We are projecting into this world in a physical, three-dimensional avatar, substantial, concrete, physical body in what we call a cosmos, the earth itself, a construct, a simulation of sorts. But all spiritual beings create and manifest using core beliefs or core faith, period. And so what I want you to understand is that this faith is working all the time. Let's type this in the comment section. My faith to create works at all times. Type that in the comment section. My faith to create works at all times. Type that in the comment section. I could have easily said also my faith to manifest works at all times, but just type it like that. My faith to create works at all times. And what I mean by that is I do believe that everything is finished, but I use the term creation really meaning to get the end result of manifestation. But your faith family is working at all times. I talked about a chaotic mindset several months ago, a chaos mentality several months ago. The reason why I brought it up is because uh, when we have faith in the downside of situations or the negative sides of situations, we see those just as we see consistent, persistent faith in the positive side of situations. I really, really, really want you to understand that you are a dynamic and powerful creator and manifester, whether you're taking responsibility for it or not. As Carl Jung was mentioning, whether your unconscious is becoming conscious, which it is becoming conscious, without, watch this, your official consent or without your official direction, without you knowing it, it is still happening. And this is why things, because of the authority you possess as a spiritual being, when you exercise faith, this is why things cooperate. They cooperate with what you believe. They cooperate and submit and bend to your will, your way, the faith that you possess, whether it's in something positive or something negative. And again, I love to use this illustration. This is why most of the time when people get up and say, look like it's going to be a bad day, or they declare it's going to be a bad day, it's typically why they see things organizing in their world to confirm what they said. And then people have the audacity to blame that on a spiritual being like the devil, or they say the creator just wanted them to have a day like this so he could get their attention, all this kind of foolishness. No, this is a result of your thinking, as within, so without. This is a condition of your heart and your mind that's on display. I want you to understand what Yeshua said, according to your faith, be it unto you. In this context, it's not religious belief. It is the deep internalized assumption of what you expect reality to be. Period. Everybody who's watching me now, thank you, Spirit of the Living God, for the strength and energy, has an assumption, has an expectation of what you expect reality to be. Again, I'm going to continue to teach you about your power, because as long as you don't recognize how powerful you are, you defer or give away, watch this, or manifest results in your life through deference on something evil, something sinister, somebody else who's doing something to you. When you don't understand, you're creating the cast of characters in your faith to put obstacles in your way. It is your creation of these characters. It is your creation of these events. It is your creation of these downfalls. Now, speaking of the fire in the home, that fire turned out to be a blessing for my mother. I explained that. And yes, I don't always like to draw up a cosmic scheme where the creator always has to unleash bad stuff so people can be better people. I'm just not with that philosophy, that theology anymore. But I do know that things work together for the good. And I do know people who have faith in positive outcomes in every situation. Situations like this many times will come up so that you can be empowered. Watch this. No lives lost, no other situations, negative situations involved, simply to manifest your prayers and your meditations, bringing it into being, bringing it to pass. But ultimately, what I'm trying to say is that we are creating these cast of characters who are persecuting us, vilifying us, mistreating us. We're creating all these things in our world based on what we believe. I want you to hear what I'm saying today. And again, we talked about from science and a simplistic explanation of the observer effect. I've quoted from science, psychology, sociology, all these things to show you and demonstrate to you how powerful you and I really are. So, family, to do the work means you align your inner landscape with the outer life you're calling in. You're aligning your inner landscape with the outer life that you are calling in. My God, I feel this. This is what it demands. This is what it demands. It demands self awareness. I want you to type it in the comment section. Self awareness. To do the work requires self awareness. Type that in the comment section for me. Self awareness. Self awareness. Type that in the comment section. Self awareness. Who wants to tell me what you think self awareness means, real quickly? Others are typing it in the comment section, but what does self awareness mean to you? Real quickly, I want to see your responses. What does self awareness mean to you? What does self awareness mean to you? Type that in the comment section real quickly. Real quickly. I want to know what self awareness means to you. Let's see here. We got the first one up. Being aware of yourself, your habits, your mindset, how you react and respond to things, etc. That is really good. That is really good. Being aware of yourself, your habits, your mindset. That's good. How you react and respond to things. Yes. Yes. That is a good definition. Anybody else want to add something to that? Anybody else want to add something to that? Okay. Doing the work means I've got to be totally aware, or in some form of totality, aware of every aspect of myself, how I think, what I'm feeling, being willing to go down the rabbit hole and explore at times why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling. Why am I reacting the way that I am reacting? Am I reacting correctly or incorrectly? Am I reacting or responding? Because there's a difference between the two. Why am I feeling like this? Why am I having these thoughts and emotions right now? Is it is it traceable to my past experiences? Is it traceable to my psychological construct? Is this just the way that I think about things? Is this just the way that I see life? Here's another one. Be aware of self and things that move you. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Practicing self-awareness is a part of doing the work. You can't deflect and defer all the time. You can't project on people. And this is a lot of what happens. It's a psychological term. There's a lot of projection that's going on. We are projecting on people based on the identity we think they are and not really accepting the identity that they're showing up as in our lives. And that could be good, negative, positive, that could be positive, negative, good or bad, indifferent, whatever it is. So I can't project my pain, my trauma, so forth and so on. And we've all done it. And we think that that's the person. It's not the person, it's us. But when we become self-aware that this is what we've been carrying all these years, we can address it. A resident therapist says discovering and determining your self-capacity. Absolutely. Absolutely. That is also a part of self-awareness. The next thing, type in the comment section 2 words: emotional mastery. Emotional mastery. Type that in the comment section. Emotional mastery. Emotional mastery. Now, hear what I'm saying today. Hear what I'm saying today. And this is, I want to say this. I want to say this as you're typing that in the comment section. I want to say this. Emotional mastery does not mean I don't express my emotions. That's not what it means. It does not mean I transform myself into some kind of robotic automaton. It's not what it means. It means that you learn how to govern your emotions. You learn how to control how they are expressed. And the way we control how they are expressed begins with the first step in doing the work is self-mastery. See, contrary to what people might be espousing philosophically in this world today, and don't get me wrong, I'm a big proponent of telling people how you feel is how you feel. But that doesn't mean how I'm feeling is justified. It's just how I'm feeling in the moment. It is up to us to do inner exploration and say to myself, should I have used my emotion to cuss somebody out? Should I have used my emotion to send a message to people that you're nothing to me? It means starting the process of doing the inner work to analyze as this explosive emotion is building in me like a volcano, am I to allow it to erupt or not? I sense in our society that people sometimes treat emotions like they're supposed to be allowed to run free like a runaway train, and it's all right for them to run free like a runaway train because this is why you have these emotions. We do not have these emotions to abuse them or to allow these emotions to control us. We have these emotions to control them, and they can become fuel for something that is positive or fuel for something that is negative. I know people who missed many destiny moments or wonderful, powerful doors that were opening to them because they could not control their emotion, whether it was anger, at times, whether it was sadness, at times, whether it was an inability to keep their composure. For whatever reason, they could not contain, they could not control it. So, in doing the work, we all have to decide that we've got to, if step up our game if necessary, feel what we feel, and then challenge it. This is what I like to do privately. When an emotion starts uh, welling up in me, and remember, I'm going to define emotions like this: chemical cocktails in the brain. It's all a chemical collection. It's a fire, a collusion, an amalgamation, a fusion of various different chemicals in our brain. Again, that's stimulated by our thoughts, stimulated by certain parts of the brain. So when I'm feeling something, and I'm better at this now, again, because I've been around a little while, and I've been on the wheel, the potter's wheel, doing the work and allowing the work to be done to me for years. And so I've gotten to a point when something starts welling up. Why? And do I need to let this out? And from past experiences, there have been times where I released an emotion that was, I really later, analyzed the situation and said it was totally unnecessary to allow that to be displayed or to give that to people. So doing the work means we have to make hard judgment calls about ourselves, where we've been that caused us to be where we are, and where we are now that could potentially impact where we're going in the future. Okay. So this is a work in process, a work in process. The next thing is identity reconstruction. Type those two words in the comment section. Identity reconstruction. Identity reconstruction. This is what it means to do the work. Identity reconstruction. I might not get to point number 2 tonight, but I want to finish this one. Identity reconstruction. Who wants to tell me what identity reconstruction means in your own words? What does identity reconstruction mean to you? Real quickly, type it in the comment section. What does identity reconstruction mean to you? I want to hear your thoughts. What does identity reconstruction mean for you? Now, I'm going to talk on the word while you're defining it from your own perspective. What I just described in mastering emotions is a part of identity reconstruction. The processes I used, metacognizing myself, being more self-aware, of my thoughts, my emotions, my states of being, my states of consciousness. Okay. It took that is, excuse me, the process of identity reconstructing. I am literally constructing a new identity from within. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's good, Krista. Construct a new identity from within. Thank you so much. So that's a good definition. I am literally and have literally, as you have, family. For example, you are much better today than you were 10 years ago. You're more evolved today than you were 5 years ago. Okay. And let me say this to you, family. Let me say this to you, family. Uh, let me say this to you about maturity and maturation. Maturation should not be based on chronology or age. Maturation, family, is based on a person's ability to be able to, number one, practice self-awareness, practice identity reconstruction. You could do that at a young age. Yes, that comes with the absorption of knowledge and converting that knowledge into wisdom. And then, of course, that knowledge is appropriately applied where you're now growing, where you're now evolving, where you're now becoming better. And if you become self-aware early enough as to what your trauma might be, what your limiting thoughts might be, what your aches and pains might be, what your limitations, self-imposed limitations are, or what is the orientation of the identity that you possess in the moment that you're disappointed with. When you can acknowledge that early and then submit to the process to reconstruct your identity, it's going to accelerate your maturity. So don't base it, family, on an age. She says reframing your identity, essentially changing it. That's true. Another, Pam says rebuilding a better version of self. Absolutely. Absolutely. So I want you to understand that a part of doing the work is about identity reconstruction. Okay, what if you want to change your external, how you look physically, identity reconstruction is necessary. The next thing, belief programming. Type that in the comment section. Excuse me, reprogramming. I'm sorry. Type belief reprogramming in the comment section. Type belief reprogramming in the comment section. Belief reprogramming. My. In the comment section. Belief reprogramming. And while you're typing that, real quickly, talk back to me. What does belief reprogramming mean to you? What does belief reprogramming mean to you? Okay, this is a part of doing the work. So my belief reprogramming might be based around accepting my self-worth. Okay, accepting my self-flaws and all. Accepting that because I need to change does not make me a bad person or bad individual, or because I need to change does not make me less spiritually, or because I need to change and do better doesn't mean that I'm hopeless. It doesn't mean that I'm incapable. That might have been a part of my own belief reprogramming. Let's see here. Changing core beliefs you once had that may have hindered you in the past. That's good. Absolutely. Absolutely. Belief reprogramming is about changing those core beliefs. Okay. I wish I really had time to park right here. But again, the connection between the intrinsic and the extrinsic, the inward and the outward, thinking, being, and manifesting. The power of that is all filtered into, channeled and funneled into what we see in the exterior world. Again, remember, based on exactly what we believe. The resident therapist says evaluating, adjusting, accommodating your belief system based upon your current and present state of consciousness. Okay. Yes. Belief reprogramming. hmm hmm Belief reprogramming. So there's going to be a need, yes, to evaluate, to adjust. There's going to be a need to do that. What part of your beliefs do you realize are manifesting hideous stuff you don't want? What part of your core beliefs, the core belief of I'm unwanted, the core belief of I'm not intelligent, the core belief of I'm always last and people overlook me, or the core belief of all my life I've had to struggle, eh, or the core belief of nobody really wants to help me, nobody's there for me, or the core belief of my nose is too long, my lips are not thick and full enough, or the core belief of I'm not accepted and loved and I don't get jobs based on the way I look. Hear me. There's a myriad, a multiplicity of core beliefs that people have. Hear me. You're projecting it into the world. It's reflecting back at you. And it's not because of the individualized personifications of people or of what we call people who are giving it to you as the source. No, they're merely the resource of your own thinking. That's why you keep meeting people who want to highlight your weaknesses or point out your weaknesses because your core belief believes that this is your life. So this is why these folks keep popping up in your world. All right. Belief reprogramming is a part of doing the work. There's just some stuff we believe we need to change. There's some stuff about God we believe. We just need to change. Period. And again, we've had extensive conversations about reality tunnels, what they are, the confirmation and the cognitive bias. We've talked about placebos, nocebos. We've talked about all these things. Again, our belief is constantly showing up in the world as something we want, something that's desired, or something that's undesired. And again, the opposite sides of the coin are showing up because of what we think and what we believe. The next thing I want you to type in the comment section is consistent mental rehearsal. Consistent mental rehearsal. This is what it means to do the work. Consistent mental rehearsal. My goodness. Type that in the comment section. Consistent mental rehearsal. Consistent mental rehearsal. Type that in the comment section for me. What does the consistent mental rehearsal mean to you? What does consistent mental rehearsal mean to you? What does consistent mental rehearsal mean to you? Tell me, family, what it means to you while others are still typing it in the comment section. What does consistent mental rehearsal mean to you? Thank you for joining us on Patreon. Monica's on Patreon tonight. Consistent mental rehearsal. What does that mean to you? Consistent mental rehearsal. Talk to me, family. What does that mean to you in your own words? Tell me what it means to you. So, while you are putting up your definitions, listen. We've got to decide to be all in. Yes, there was a time where I wanted to have 1 foot in and 1 foot out of situations. There are some times I just wanted to dip my toe, but I didn't want to fully immerse my legs and my torso and my whole body. I just wanted to dip into it. But listen, when I started recognizing that the onus of responsibility of my spiritual growth, my spiritual development, my curation and amplification and elevation of my oneness with God, the creator, source, and sustainer, was based in me and based on my choices and decisions. Also recognizing a direct link, a predilection of from thinking to manifesting. I had to go all in. I had to go all in. I'm going to explain what I mean by all in a minute. Let's see your definitions. Rehearsing what I want to see come true. Rather, it's a conversation with someone. What I want to train my subconscious to believe. How I want something to go. Absolutely. Absolutely. Here's another one that says consistently seeing things the way you want them to be. Absolutely. So, family, hear what I'm saying today. I know, and I want you to, in the reframing and redefining process And in the reframing and redefining session that we're in, we've got to decide what life and that more abundantly means to us. Yeshua HaMashiach said, I came that you might have life and have it more abundantly. Well, what does that mean to you? What does abundant life mean to you? And if you start understanding spiritual principles, you start recognizing that unless you are operating in a Christ mind, and we are doing the work to unleash the Christ mind and Christ consciousness in us, to not only attract but to manifest a life of abundance. A life of abundance is not related to just material things and money. A life of abundance of love, a life of abundance of self-love, a life of abundance of self-care, a life of abundance of intellectual growth, a life of abundance of spiritual growth. And then it can flow over into our relationships. It can flow over into our careers. It can flow over into our finances. It can flow over into our physical health. I needed to be all in because the life that I realized that I had co-created with, I'm going to say it again, co-created with spiritual divine substance, that a sense that takes cues from me, that does what I tell it to do. This spiritual protoplasmic material. I know I never said that before. The spirit dimension and the natural dimension is directly in alignment with our core beliefs. People believe it's projected through the subconscious. I believe it projects out of the spirit. Again, we are creating things all the time. I had to be all in because I was realizing that the life I'm living is the life I created. It's the life I made, and I'm not happy with that life. Well, this is why when I get up in the morning, okay, after I have my early morning conversations with my love, then I get off and then I go through my spiritual practices, sometimes before she gets up, and other times after that. I'm going through whether it's meditations, whether it's prayer, whether it's subliminals, whether it's reading, whether it's spiritual. Are you hearing me? Consistently throughout the day. It's necessary for me. I am cautious of what I allow in my gates. I'm cautious of what I allow my eyes to see, and what I allow my ears to hear, and what I allow my sensory receptors to touch, and what I taste, and what I am. Listen, some folk might say, "Okay, you're taking this too far." No, I'm trying to impact this reality while I'm here to the fullest. And the only way I can do that is I must ascend the ladders to the highest, best version of me. And it's not going to come with a toe in. It's not going to come with two toes in. It's not going to come with 1 foot in and the rest of my whole body living in a natural state. No, I must be willing, even though some people might say it don't take all that, you're doing too much. I know what it takes for me to recreate the landscape, the geography, the topography, the cosmos of my own life. And because of the things that were put in me, the way I was conditioned to think, to believe, needed to be totally gutted, eradicated, burned down, brought down completely, torn down completely, take a wrecking ball to it, leave no previous material, or very little previous material from the former state of who I am, to become this new version of who I am. Is what is necessary for me. So if it means I got to read, I got to read. If it means I got to pray, I got to pray. If it means I got to meditate 3 to 4 times a day, I got to do. If it means I got to speak affirmations, I got to do that. If it means I have to practice coming outside of my body and traveling different places and accessing knowledge and information and interacting with interdimensional beings and other spiritual, if it means I got to do all these things, then this is what I'm going to do. So consistent mental rehearsal. I said all that to say that you must take the wheel, family, of your mind, of your mentality 24/7 and start redefining what life is supposed to be for you. Life doesn't mean I got to be on level 15 all the time. Life doesn't mean I got to be anxious and nervous. Life doesn't mean I got to be mad as hell. Life doesn't mean I got to be miserable and poor. Life doesn't mean I have to suffer and struggle. If that's what you have defined life to mean, then that's the life you're going to have because it's your core belief. But if you've been conditioned to believe some of these things I've taught you, money don't grow on trees, money is hard to come by. You got to work for every dollar, your blood, sweat, and tears. I got to work 2 and 3 jobs to get ahead. If that's what you've been conditioned to believe, I would think you would want to change that. And I would think you would be willing to stop just dipping your toe or your ankle in it and decide, I'm going full blown body. I'm going full blown everything into it. It's a sacrifice because the old programming wants to have its fun and do the same stuff it was doing before that brought you to life that you currently are displeased with. But if you want to get out of this life you're displeased with, it's going to take consistent mental rehearsal of the things you desire, the things you believe, or the things you create. You got to be transformed. You got to be renewed by your mind, not by and spiritual laws. You see, it keeps going in and out. I'm studying it. I don't know why in the world is doing that. I have no clue as to why it's doing that. Let me try something here. Let me try. I'm gonna take. Hold on a minute. I'm gonna take that out. I'm almost done. I'm almost done. I went off on a tangent on that one. The next one, embodiment practices. Embodiment practices. EMBODIMENT. Type that in the comment section. Embodiment practices. Y'all quiet up in here. You must be really listening. Embodiment practices. Type that in the comment section. Embodiment practices. Embodiment practices. And while you're typing it and others are typing it in the comment section, and I'm going over intentionally tonight. While you're typing it in the comment section, family, I want you to tell me what that means to you. Embodiment practices. Embodiment practices. What does that mean to you? What does it mean to you? Embodiment practices. What does that mean to you? Real quickly, and I'm going to give you an illustration. So, embodiment practices. Ask yourself the question, if all your bills are paid easily, and I like to use this because it's something that many people can relate to. Even if all your bills are paid now, you know what this feels like. What does it feel like to have all your bills paid? What does it feel like? And you might be saying to yourself, well, I've never had that. Okay, imagine what it would feel like. And once you imagine what it would feel like to have all your bills paid, then use your imagination, which your creativity, your imagination, which is responsible for manifestation, to embody the feeling, hear me, the state where all things are paid. Because there is a certain way you're going to feel. Monica on a Patreon community saying peaceful and serene. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Let's see. Hillary says intentionally practicing to embody X the feeling of something. Something you, example, the feeling of something you want to attain or become. Absolutely. And I also want you to know that when Neville Goddard talks about feeling the wish fulfilled, he's not really just talking about an emotion. He's talking about, I don't want to say the tactile, that's not the appropriate word, but the sense of knowing. For example, if your bills are paid, it's yes, it's not going to just feel a certain way emotionally, but the setting, the environment of your mind and the overall environment of your life is going to have a sense of reality, a I hate to say feeling, but it's like when you're feeling a wall, you're not necessarily feeling an emotion, you can, but you can feel the wall. And in a spiritual and mental sense, we can feel a situation, we can feel the reality reality we want to create. Like this, you can feel pleasure before any pleasure is ever present physically. You can feel, watch this, the pleasure, or feel what it's like to put an ice cream cone in your mouth or put ice cream in your mouth before you ever eat the ice cream. That's a pretty decent illustration. So when you're embodying something, you're practicing embodying the finality of faith, the fruition of faith, the manifestation of faith. What does that feel like? Not just emotionally, but that whole scenario. What does it feel like? What's your sense of your presence in the moment? There you go. The sense of your presence in the moment. What would you be doing if all your bills are paid? As somebody said, you feel peaceful. You have some peace. You have serenity. You might be kicked back and relaxing. You might be laying out in bed, chilling. You might be just riding down the road, and this is how you embody it. The look on your face is a look of just happiness and joy and bliss. So the embodiment practice, we've got to do the work. Remember, you're training your body to where you want it to go. You're training your body to the final state of where you really want to be. Okay, it's a mental thing, it's a psychosomatic thing, it's a mind-body thing. And I'm training my body to know what wealth is, to know what peace is, to know what the overflow is, to know what the accomplishment is, to feel it right now. When I feel it right now, I'm impressing my subconscious mind that it is reality. Here's the last one. We got to do the work. The last one, taking action rooted in your future self. This is powerful. Taking action rooted in your future self. Taking action rooted in your future self. Wow. Taking action rooted in your future self. Now, here's what I want you to do. I want you to tell me what that means to you. After you type, tell me what that means to you. Taking action in your future self. What does that mean to you? That's the last point I'm going to make today. And then I'm going to shut it down. Taking action in your future self. I went over on time tonight. I want to feed you a little bit of something. Taking action in your future self. What does that mean to you? What does that mean to you? So I'm gonna give you an example. As I am currently, and let me make an adjustment on the screen. I don't like the way it looks. As I am currently creating another reality for self, another reality for me. Okay. There are times I have to ask myself, what does the version of me who has everything, what is that version of me doing? What does that version of me think? What does the wealthy, overflowing, world recognized AJ Green, what does he do? What would he do right now? What would he be thinking? And then when I take on that, the thought of that me, okay, she says, rebuilding the foundation. Wonderful. Thank you, Trina. Yes, I think that was from a future point. Thank you, Sherry, for sharing. When I take on that version of me, those thoughts, when I align myself with his thoughts, which are my thoughts, which is me, that version of me, I can feel him. I can feel that me. And then many times I calm down and I go ahead and make the decision. And many times it's centered around when I'm planning or plotting something, and when there's money required, or when I'm trying to think how I'm going to get this done, how to get that done, so forth and so on. And then I'm training myself to ask myself that question. Okay. And in that moment, I'm taking the action of my future self to make this decision, to execute this part of the plan, to do the thing that my present mindset may stop me from doing. But the me who has it all. Okay, which is who I want to be perpetually aligned with. Watch this, which is who I'm really striving and believing to manifest as the dominant version of me now. Okay, how does that person move in the morning? How does that person take care of their body? There you go, taking steps now to become the person you desire. Routine, habits, diet. Absolutely. What is that? What is that person doing now? How's that person treating their body? How's that person treating other people? How's that person treating their family? How's that person treating the work that they're assigned to do, the job that they have? How is that person moving in the world? How's that person taking care of their vehicle? How's that person taking care of their home? You're acting like that personality. You don't wait to get a giant house, family, to talk about I'm gonna keep it clean. Listen, if you're not keeping it clean now, this is just an illustration. You're probably gonna have to hire somebody because it's not really in you. It's like, folk, watch this, being generous. I just believe that generosity exists in people no matter what they have. If you're not generous now, if you're stingy now, you're gonna be stingy when you get a lot of money. Okay. So for example, if there's a part of you that wants to be more generous, you got to access by acting that mind of that person and start. I'm not saying give gobs and gobs of cash or whatever. You might just, where you normally wouldn't do $10, you do the $10 because the version of you is a giver and a spender. Doesn't mind investing in people. Did you catch that? You are taking steps right now. And I know a lot of people like to wait till the turn of the year. Don't wait till the turn of the year. The best time is right now. There are no perfect conditions to start anything, family. So you start taking steps, family, right now. If there are things you want to change, you have dreamt about that greater version of you. Sometimes that better, higher version of you has even visited you, family. And when it visited you, you saw how he or she was living, how he or she was moving. You got there. That version of you became that version because they moved like that before they ever acquired these extra trinkets, these extra resources. They believed they were that version before they ever manifested material. This is what I want you to see, and I'm done. It requires emotionally and energetically compatible. It requires becoming emotionally and energetically compatible with the life you say you want, with the life you say you want. Hear what I'm saying today. With the life you say you want. Catch that. That's got to be an emotional and energy connection with the life you desire. So that's why in those moments, I don't even use certain words to describe finances anymore. Okay, can't afford it is not in my vocabulary. Unaffordable is not in my vocabulary. And I know there might be some people listening saying that's crazy. Well, it's crazy for you. It's not crazy for me because it was a limiting thought. It was a limiting belief for me. It was just walls for me. Okay, well, if you don't have, you can't pay 10,000. You just can't afford it. Listen, I'm not saying. I believe I'm unlimited. I have access to an unlimited God, creator, source, and sustainer. I believe all things are possible to him that believeth. I really, really believe that. I believe it's according to my faith. So be it unto me. So I'm not getting ready to go around here and say what I can't have and what I can't do. And I'm certainly not going to encourage you to say what you can't have and what you can't do. I refuse to plant those seeds in my own mind or in anyone else's mind. Because right now, I am embodying the state of a person who is abundant. I am living the identity and speaking from the identity of a person who is operating in opulence, abundance, who's blessed to be a blessing. Oh my goodness. Who loves giving as much as he loves receiving. Catch what I'm saying today. Catch what I'm saying today. It is faith, family, in action. It is you doing the work right now. And in order for you and I to ascend to the highest levels of the rung of the ladder, to occupy or become or live and move as that version of ourselves we desire to be, you don't wait until stuff comes. Stuff comes because you believe right now. Things move into place and in position in your life based on what you believe. Based on your belief now, watch this, which is tethered to the version of you that has all these things, but it comes from your belief right now. If thou canst believe, Yeshua said, all things are possible to him that believe. Oh my goodness. All right, I'm done. I went over time purposely tonight. I just wanted to pour this in you. Tell me what you're thinking. Tell me what you're thinking. Tell me what you're thinking. Yes, taking steps now to become the person you desire. Routine habits diet is exceptional. Real quickly, tell me what you thought about the teaching, and I want you to sow that faith seed of love. I do believe in the law of reciprocity. We don't ever force anybody to do anything. We give from the heart here. You're giving into me, you're giving into this platform. And I always pray a harvest of blessings in return for those who support me through your gifts, your donations. And I also appreciate your prayers and wonderful meditations you send my way. But tell me what you thought about the teaching tonight, and then I'm going to sign off. I'm going to sign off. I thank y'all so much for taking our time in your schedules to be with me tonight. We got to do the work. I want you to type it in the comment section. I got to do the work. I've got to do the work. I've got to do the work. Okay. I've got to do the work. Yep. I got to do it. I got to do it with all that's within me. My destiny depends on it. Present depends on it. My future depends on it. I got to do the work. Monica says on Patreon, awesome as usual. Thank you so much. Krista says, love this. And Krista says, thank you, teacher. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Yes, I've got to do the work. I got to do it. And I'm talking about that inner work. I'm talking about that inner work. Identity change is inner work. Identity change is inner work. Identity recalibration and restoration is inner work. Got to do the work. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all. Y'all are awesome. I see it just blurred up again. Guess what? I'm still encouraged. It's from the low levels of light in this room. That's why this camera's quirky. Had to pull out my laptop until I could get my PC back. That was, of course, still in the house. That part of the house did not catch fire. I'm grateful for that. Thank you so much for your feedback. I thank you for your gifts and your prayers in advance. My voice sound all right with the music on? Talk to me. And then I'm going to release you with the shalom blessing. I'm going to look down so that red won't be in my eyes. I'm encouraged, family. I'm encouraged. I'm thankful. The latter shall be greater than the former, is what the Old Testament text says. And you're getting ready to finish strong as well as start a new year strong. All right? I'm releasing you with the shalom blessing. Shalom, shalom, peace, wholeness, prosperity. Nothing missing, nothing broken. It is so. And so it is. Love you. See you all in a few days. Enjoy your life and know that abundance is your portion. Do the work. Thank you for being a part of this journey of awakening and transformation. Support the light through Revolution Inc. by liking, sharing, and giving. Cash App $AG Green and $AG Green Enterprises. You can also give by Zelle. Anthony G. Green at hotmail.com is what you use. And Chime $Anthony/Green/336. If you haven't joined as a member of Patreon, now is a good time. We're a spiritual community that's evolving, transforming, and ascending. If you like what you have seen and heard, connect with us. It's time to vibe with your tribe. Also take time to visit theaggreen.com for the latest developments and just explore divinespeciesshop.com for spiritual tools to elevate your life. Your love and support helps keep this mission alive.